Let me tell you one thing. When we look at our political sphere, what we realize is that most of our politicians are involved in why people occult sciences. Why? Because deep down in us, we know that in order to properly rule, the visible must be connected with the invisible.
Going back to the conversation again of the identity crisis among Africans and the time that we have today, where Africa is really like a kind of I think I want to use your word, in a cage.
Yeah. Yes.
Are we able to use the system that we have today to retrace our step back? Or do we need to destroy this system in order to build another system?
It is our duty now to understand, first of all, what was the basis of the greatness of ancient Egypt. I insist on this because understanding what made the greatness of the civilization will enable us. Let me take you another example that I use to give people. We had an incident in my family where one of my nephew was shot by a gang. He was left with a double fracture of the femur. Now, the double fracture of the femur to be cured requires more than 2 operations, surgical intervention, and a lot of money. So I decided that we have to rely on traditional surgeries, traditional orthopedy. So we called a traditional healer. He put a traditional plaster, and after 5 days, I say 5 days, being seated, my nephew could raise his leg, which has sustained a double fracture of the femur. Now, when I mentioned this exploit in a scientific paper, I had a reaction from Cameroon, from Nigeria, from Ivory Coast, even Chad, people telling me that we do have the same technology, traditional technology. So it means that in the field of technology of health, we have seen some advance in comparison to the West. But the problem is that the technology we use is based on the fact that reality is spiritual. And we cannot prove this through the setting of the white people paradigm. So what we need is not to break away all at once with the white people education. No. At the first time, we will go gradually. We will bring in the spiritual component thanks to the true understanding of the scientific nature of our religion. We will bring that parallel education, and that will bring what will elevate our perception, our paradigm, even our perception of our own identity. That is very crucial. Let me tell you one thing. When we look at our political sphere, what we realize is that most of our politicians are involved in why people occurrences. Why? Because deep down in us, we know that in order to properly rule, the visible must be connected with the invisible. But if we can prove today scientifically that that connection exists in our culture, can be implemented in our culture in a scientific manner, that will little by little bring a shift even in the practice of politics.
Thank you so much for that.